Hello students, as you all can see inside of CPU in this diagram where many of the internal devices are visible, out of these today we will learn about computer memory. So let's begin with the chapter. This is your chapter 2 about computer memory, and you all know what is a memory, which stores data, instructions and information. Now in this diagram you can see the categorization of computer memory. It is basically divided into two types, primary and secondary memory. And out of these, first we will talk about the primary memory. Primary memory is also known as the internal memory, main memory, or it is also known as working memory of computer. RAM and ROM are the two major types of it. So let's learn about RAM first of all. RAM stands for random access memory, and it is a memory chip that can read from and written to by processor and other devices. See, when you turn on your system, your operating system is transferred from hard disk to RAM and remains there as long as your computer is on. Now you can take another example. You are working in Paint. When you click on Paint program, what happens? Your Paint program is stored in your hard disk, but when you click on this, it comes to RAM because it is a working memory. So now let's learn something in detail about RAM. See, RAM is volatile in nature. Volatile in nature means it loses its content when you switch off your computer system or power supply is off. Basically there are three types of RAM, as you can see here. First one is the DRAM, dynamic random access memory, and this dynamic random access memory is inexpensive, very common and popular RAM, and all variants of it are faster than the previous one. Like, what are the variants? First is SDRAM. Synchronous DRAM means it is faster than the normal dynamic RAM or the DRAM. The other variant is you can see DDR. DDR is double data rate. SDRAM, double data rate means it is transferring data with a double rate, so speed is faster. And we can see here 4 generation of DDR, DDR1, DDR2, DDR3, DDR4 means it is becoming faster and faster with the next generation, and all variants are faster than the previous one. Like we see further, that is the RDRAM. So the latest of DRAM or the dynamic RAM is RDRAM, which is also stands for RAM bus dynamic random access memory. Now second type of RAM is static RAM. Static RAM is very efficient, it is faster, but it is expensive, and it is generally used as a cache memory to speed up your computer. And the third type of RAM is magnetoresistive RAM. See, this is the newest type of RAM. It stores data using magnetic charges, and it has greater storage capacity, consume less electricity, and can retain its content even after the computer is switched off. So this is the newest type, which can retain little bit of data even after the power supply is off. So now let's move to the, you can see the picture also here how the RAM looks like. Now let's move to ROM. ROM is read-only memory. So what is read-only memory? It is a chip that is storing read-only data. See, it is again a chip. RAM is also a chip, but the difference is of their working, the way they are working inside the computer. RAM is a working memory which is holding data for temporary basis, and ROM is, it is a chip which is storing for read only. We cannot write anything on this, but it is non-volatile. That means the content are not lost when you switch off your computer. It stores instructions related to loading operating system when you first turn in your computer. You must have noticed that when you start your computer, something happens on its own. You are not doing anything, you are not giving any instructions, still it is working. So how it is working, where it is getting instructions from, that is from ROM, that is the read-only memory. So let's read about the types of ROM. The first type is PROM, that is programmable read-only memory, where microcode instructions are used to program it. Then we cannot erase it. Once it is written, it will remain permanent. Second is EPROM, that stands for erasable programmable read-only memory. In this, contents can be deleted by ultraviolet light and it can be reprogrammed. So special kind of labs are required where we can erase the content of programmable read-only memory, and it is known as erasable programmable read-only memory, EEPROM. Then next is EEPROM. EEPROM means it is electrically erasable programmable read-only memory that allows programmer to erase microcode with an electric signal like a pen drive. So these are the three types of RAM and ROM. Both you have understood now. Now we come to memory module. So see this picture also here for RAM. How does it look like? Now we have to understand the difference these two. You have done the primary memory, which is consisting of RAM and ROM, but there are some differences between these two. They both are primary memory, but the differences are RAM stands for random access memory. It is volatile in nature, that means contents get erased when it is turned off, and it is read and write both type of memory. ROM stands for read only memory. It is non-volatile, means its contents are not erased when power is turned off, and we can only read this memory, cannot write through it. So it is read only. Now let's move forward with the memory module. What is memory module? It is a printed circuit board that holds memory chip like RAM. So there are two types of memory modules. One is SIM, the other one is DIMM. SIM is a single inline memory module which is consisting of 30 to 72 pins. See this picture? There is a circuit board which is holding two memory chips on that. The other type is DIMM, that is double inline memory module, and it is most common with 168 pins. You can see this diagram. It is bigger in size and it can hold more number of chips on this because it is having more number of pins to hold the chips. So now this is about your memory modules. Now let's move forward to the second type of memory, that is the secondary memory. Means where you can store your data permanently, where you store your files. See the most common secondary memory you can see here in the picture, that is hard disk. So what are the secondary memory? The other names of secondary memory are external memory or backup memory. External because it remains outside the system generally, and backup means it is storing all your files, all your data permanently. So what are the most common kind of examples? Hard disk, CD-ROM, DVD-ROM, pen drive. You can see the pen drive picture here. The memory card also you can see here. Again a pen drive there. So these all are the secondary memory which stores your data permanently. Once the RAM has finished the work, it is time to store. So where you have to store? Secondary memory. Now next thing is difference between primary and secondary. Now primary and secondary memory are two different types of memory which have some differences. Like in primary memory, the devices used are semiconductor memories. You can see you must have seen that chip in the previous part. And secondary memory devices are magnetic or optical memories. Optical means it needs laser light to write and read from. And primary memory is categorized as RAM and ROM, where RAM is volatile, ROM is non-volatile. But when it comes to secondary memory, it is always non-volatile, means always permanent. Primary memory is known as main memory and secondary memory is known as additional memory, backup memory or external memory, while your primary memory is internal memory because it always remains inside the CPU. You cannot carry it anywhere outside while storing your data, while you can carry secondary memory anywhere after storing your data. So this is all about primary and secondary memory. Let's move to cache memory, which is the third type of memory. And cache memory is a temporary memory. It is a temporary memory that holds instructions and data that computer is using frequently, and it enhances the speed because it is storing the data permanently there near the processor. And most modern computers have three layers of cache memory, that is level 1, level 2 and level 3. So this is all about this chapter, and you can see this diagram also here, which is showing you cache memory. How does it look like? Now this chapter is finished. You can read the chapter. Wherever you have a doubt, you can go through the chapter and understand this. Thank you, children.